Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Juan, founder of Inspiral Growth, and today we have for this episode of Growth Hacks Experience our special guest, Alice Geoffroy. Now, in these times of transformation, in these times where we are gathering so much new skills and so many changes around the world, here's when we really understand the importance of having a person that could guide us and could help us in these moments of our lives, in between becoming a new person of gratitude, of becoming a person actually that you really want to become in your life, in your professional life, with your families, and having this the knowledge or the person this with these skills is something that now we need more than ever. Now today, indeed, we have a very special person. Alice is let me tell you a little more about Alice, please. Alice is a certified hypnotherapist and a personal and professional growth coach. That includes knowledge in NLP, that includes skills in neuroscience, and of course in hypnotherapy, defining as a transformational life, leadership, and performance coach. Now, we could go also about the creations that Alice has gone through, but before I would like to welcome Alice. Hi, Alice, how are you? How are you today?
Hello, Juan. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be on your podcast today. So thank you. I'm doing very good.
And not only it's thank you for your time because I know that we are almost 12 hours from difference from in the time zone. How is life where you are at the moment?
Um, Smooth and beautiful. Yes, we are 12 hours apart, so it makes it very easy to calculate the time difference. But basically, I'm the other side. I am on the other side of the globe, but on a beautiful place and exactly how I envisioned it, doing my meditation routines.
Alice, you have been doing a sort of like a digital nomad life already for since 2018, if I'm correct, right?
2019, that's right. We had a conversation around that. And yeah, well, the kickstart of my digital nomad journey wasn't as planned because it started during COVID time, right? But having this ability, well, this drive, this desire, and then ability to work from anywhere was what motivated my journey from the early start. Yes.
Wonderful. And going to the subject of indeed of transformational life. Uh, could you tell us a little bit of how did it happen to you, considering the fact that you were also in the corporate world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I believe transformation is a lifetime journey. And if you asking specifically how I became a coach and a hypnotherapist today, um, as you said, I was working in the corporate world for a decade or so, and I liked very much my job, and I consciously decided on the position and the world I was working in at the time. You know, I was working in marketing. I was specialized in the luxury industry, and that was totally something I wanted to do. But working 10 years in this industry, in this types of position, totally burnt me out. And till the point that after 10 years of that life, I was like, something is wrong. I'm really not fulfilled anymore. It took me a minute to realize that this lifestyle was not for me anymore, because I had followed my dreams and I had followed also other people's dreams simultaneously. But anyway, it felt like I had chosen that track for myself. Um, And so it took me a minute to realize, hold on a minute, this is not for me any longer, and let's see what else is possible. And I really felt stuck, because at the time I was not very self-aware. I was not very self-conscious, let's say, about, our immense capability and resilience. And so I thought this was my definite path, and that I had to stick to it, no matter how sad and unfulfilled and burnt out I was. Until until I came across people who helped me, and a mix of different work. I have personal work I have done on myself. Perhaps we can talk more about that later. And so I took the chance and quit my job. And from there, the transformational journey started. I didn't go right away into coaching. I smoothly transitioned to first what I was, to first what I knew how to do. So I stayed in the marketing for a little while, and kept enhancing and transforming personally, and going through a lot of different type of coaching, healing, also therapy work, and yeah, transforming myself until until I realized for myself, but I've been told many times that I had this thing in me, who'd make it to actually guide others and help others through the same transformation. And this is where I was like, now that I'm starting to reflect on my life, those milestones moment in life, or these transformative moments in life. And I was like, indeed, I've always been a people person. I've always been very interested in talking, understanding human beings, and so innate qualities that actually are part of my day-to-day job today. So in a nutshell, that's how the transformation went. So I started coaching very naturally. And then I also get proper education in coaching and in therapy, so that I can really accompany my clients to the best of my ability.
Wonderful, wonderful. Indeed, just before for the audience, just before we started this Growth Hacks Experiences episode, I asked Alice if we could do a breathing meditation, because doing that, having that we are in a different segment, we normally tend to go through our day exhausting all the energy that we have. And when we start the day, normally we are full of energy, or we just get, or let's say, or filled of energy. And then through the day, normally we forget to do some abilities of some actions that could recharge that. So I really thank you, Alice, as well, for that breathing moment that we got before uh, the episode. And that means that those are some of the skills that as transformational coach has in themselves. How may I ask, how did it go also with this the skills, the set of skills that you were gaining as a coach through your career? Was something that actually you decided on going fully on a process, or do you thought this is something that I want, this is something that I want to add? How was that method?
I'm not sure I'm understanding your question, Fun.
Yeah, so indeed, in the sense of the skills that you add as a coach, that for the high performance and the transformation side of it, how did it go with the skills that you were gathering?
Okay, so skills I have fundamentally, are you asking, or for
Yeah,
skills I had to develop through
true, that you had to
through
develop.
gaining
Yeah.
experience? Okay, so natural skills. When I talk about natural skills, I talk about genuine interest and curiosity and empathy, for ourselves first, and then people. And that, you know what, as I discovered my story and really, dove into understanding myself, I realized that this deep listening skills that I naturally have was a protective mechanism that I developed in my childhood. All our automatisms and limiting beliefs, all of that are formed in our childhood, but most of them between 0 and 7 years old. And deep listening is something I gained very early on. And for me, paying interest in others and because of that, listening deeply to what they have to say was a protective myself. But later in life, it became also my motto, like discovering the world through my curiosity, through learning from other people. Like I was way more interested in learning from other human beings, and as the more different from me, the better. So I was always mingling with people from all different walks of life, and also developed a very early passion for traveling. And I enjoyed so much getting to know people very different from me and just learning from them, learning from their life experiences. I love to talk with elderlies, for instance, and I could listen to them forever. And so I understood later on that, active listening, deep listening is a fundamental skill of coaching. And as I was going through some training, I realized that some people had actually to train themselves to develop that skills. And for me, it was really like, well, that's what I do anyway. Wait, do I have an occasion to not talk about myself? So then actually my growth path for personally was to learn also being comfortable to talk about myself. And that was my learning path personally.
I wonder, is everything in the past possible to reprogram?
Basically, yes. Some will take longer and more work, of course, than other things. Because, for instance, when we talk about trauma, we use scales of trauma, on a scale from 1 to 10, and 10 could be war traumas. And of course, these are not going to be, or although PTSD, for instance, these are, you can address that with the help of hypnotherapy, but it's not going to be as easy as transforming a traumatic experience that happened in a child's life that he perceived as very traumatic, but could have, with adults' eyes, are not. Like, for instance, let's say if you were bullied when you were a little kid and you have this specific event, something happened at school or something, you may not even be aware of it. And with regression, which is a hypnosis technique, we'll be able to reveal that event, that actually hold that trauma in your mind, and reprogram it, mean recoding or transforming the meaning you made of that event with your adult eyes now. And this, for instance, is common, easy process to do in hypnotherapy.
Okay.
And in coaching, for instance, or in coaching, or for instance, coaching through the philosophy of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is often what is used for day-to-day coaching, we will do that at a conscious level. We will take a heck of a long time if we find the original trauma, and then we would consciously reprogram or transform the meaning we attach to that event. Whereas with the hypnotherapy, I will do that directly talking with the unconscious, shutting down the conscious mind who is actually not helping here, and reprogramming instantly the meaning you attach to it. And then you can move on.
Ooh, wow.
You know, for instance, in coaching, when you have a limiting belief, what we do is that, okay, so for one limiting belief you hold, give me 5 positive, more empowering belief. That's, I don't know if you're familiar with that coaching exercise, but that's, for instance, what we do to replace limiting belief. Or, okay, you become aware you have this limiting belief, you pause. What more empowering belief could I hold for myself? And then you reflect, and then you think a more empowering one, and then you may even add it to your morning affirmation so that you ingrain it. That happens at a very conscious state, but the beliefs and the stories we tell ourselves are in our unconscious mind. So we really need to access this bit to really transform so that it does not kick back again.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stop here. I
No,
can talk on and on about this topic.
no, I completely see it. I indeed, sometimes you can go over and over with a research, let's say with someone that you're coaching, but you normally expect that person to come with the eureka moments, like oh, that's why. But sometimes it can take days, if not longer. So then I
Yeah,
completely understand why the moment that actually that you can perceive to go to the unconscious mind faster.
yeah,
uh, Love it. And would you say
yeah.
that what was a process of how would you say that it came to you? Well, you were mentioning as well that your facility to listen to people, was that a big plus in the moment of hypnotherapy?
Oh yeah, definitely. I also realized during my hypnotherapy training, all this section of we had a section about the posture of a therapist, uh, you know, how to serve from a place of deep listening and empathy, but not compassion, you know. We make a difference between empathy and compassion. So empathy is that we are able to feel what the other person feels without indulging in the feeling. And uh, well, that I had from my coach experience. Um, the therapeutic approach and the coaching approach are different. So I would say that I know how I now have my own twist, combining the two methodologies, because um, the therapist will look at solving that issue that you brought to the table and in the present moment, where the coach really is future oriented. So now I'm combining the two, to really see the transformation of my client from A to Z, because this is really what lights me up. This is really what the reason why I do this job and enjoy it so much till that day, is seeing the people transformation from where they came from when I met them to where they are at the end of the journey with me. And using now hypnotherapy and coaching enable me to see the whole transformation. So it's
Beautiful.
great.
It brings me to the reflection of that a few years ago in one of the companies that we used to work together, we came up with the idea of removing the word manager out of the company and start placing everyone like coach of sales, coach of marketing, coach of and nowadays I even understand even more why we were doing that. But now, reflecting on what you're mentioning, I consider that also a CEO, as the leader of a department, would love to have these kind of tools to be able to work with their team and have an impact way faster. If I may ask,
Oh yeah.
if I may ask Alice, what would you consider that are the challenges that normally are presented to persons, to leaders, where they could benefit them where they could recognize that they need the help of a hypnotherapist?
Well, I'm gonna use, my client's example. And work-life balance is a topic that that comes to the table so often. People invest their whole time in their job, in their company. The higher the position, usually the more they spend time at work, till they feel totally overwhelmed with work, and very guilty, this feeling of guilt, not spending enough time with their family. So work-life balance is a topic I deal with quite a lot, but not everyone experiences the same emotions attached to that imbalance. And so your question was towards hypnotherapy, how it can help. So, hypnotherapy, I use the emotions to get into the unconscious of my client. And so depending of the emotion that will arise as we are discussing the matter, I will then use hypnotherapy to unveil where those feelings are coming from and transform. And then use coaching to put a proper plan in place so that you are able to, install a more helpful, serving balance in your life.
Wonderful. How would you consider, in terms of time, should a correct plan should be set in let's say for a founder, for a woman, a man leader, that they're looking for having a coach implementing a process into their company for transformation? Normally, how much time would it be required for such transformations?
Are you talking at a team level, or are you talking at a person level?
I consider probably more of a personal level.
At a personal level. Well, to answer that question, it's really about what is the transformation we're trying to put in place. What is the objective that we're working on? So it really will differ from a person to a person. And as I said initially, also transformation is also a lifelong journey. So depending, no matter where you are at this moment, there will always be a higher level of transformation that you can reach. So I usually work with my client and combining coaching and hypnotherapy services together 3 to 6 months. But then it really depends to the person and to the transformation we're working on.
Yeah. So everyone has their own journey.
Also, exactly that. And also, you can have really quick transformation. As I said, in one session of hypnotherapy, you can transform something right away. But then the implementation time may be longer. And sustaining motivation is also a big challenge of high performers and leaders in today's world. And that also where coaching excels, that sustaining motivation. So completely. This may take a bit longer. Mm-hmm.
Completely understood. Now, Alice, we do have one segment in Growth Hack Experiences where we normally we have a question that is being done by the person that did the last session with us, okay, the last episode with us. Yeah. It's a surprise question for the new one. But okay, but in the other hand, you also get to make a question later on for the next guest. So the question that you got, the question that you got was from Phil, Phil Irwine, and he is the head of marketing from Moyo, one of the Palo Alto companies in Silicon Valley. He was asking, he didn't know that it was going to be you, so it's always a surprise. He was asking, what are the impacts that has been developed recently with AI in your sector?
Interesting. We were just having that conversation about AI and everything that is happening right now. Well, AI in my sector, in the coaching world, more than in the therapy world, I would say, I'm going to use my own example, I would say. And exactly as I was telling you before, I now use AI more and more as a personal assistant with who I brainstorm with. And when I want to create content, or when I want to create programs, exercises around a topic, or I will use the AI to brainstorm with me and use it as an assistant. And I've been talking about these topics with fellow coaches, and I would say that more and more people are using it this way. It all happens so fast, and I would say, and at my humble level, my first experience with AI was using it like a search bar, whereas now it went from that to using it as an assistant to brainstorm with. And well, let me say that again, it's at my humble level, but it's definitely, it definitely has so much potential. And I had actually, let me share with you that idea that I had to mind. In hypnotherapy and coaching, I use visualization a lot with my clients. And, before I was trained with hypnotherapy, I did this visualization. And now that I'm trained in hypnotherapy, I add even more, I integrate to those visualization all the unconscious predicates, wording, sensation to make the visualization even more alive. And I was just reflecting the other day, and I was like, let me backward a little bit. The interest in making the visualization really alive is to bring all the emotions and energies within the person, so that it drives the person to the vision. It comes from within. And I was thinking, can you imagine now with AI and also augmented virtual reality, if we could really create this ideal vision and the person would put a mask on and really live in the right now, the vision. I don't know if you know what I mean. But that would be even more cool, that the person could get to leave that ideal vision for herself with this, for instance, the glasses I'm talking about, the augmented reality glasses, and really get to live already that life that they want to live for themselves. So that was just an idea that popped.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, indeed, the sense of being able to feel, who knows, even in the future, even to smell what the kind of life that they are visualizing. Wow, it could be very powerful.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you have your next business as well. Well, Alice, also, what kind of question would you like to ask for our next guest?
Okay. The question I would like, do you know who your next guest is?
Well,
What
it's a
kind of
surprise. It's a
field?
surprise.
Or what kind of field
Yeah.
is this person in? My question to that person would be, what is the next, what is her or his next most exhilarating project he has coming up in line?
Wonderful. Perfect. Well, Alice, thank you very much. Indeed, this is the question that we're going to do to our next guest. Not only that, I want to thank you for this moment to share with us not only about your experience as a coach, but also I got so much information now about what is hypnotherapy and how we can implement it. I consider that from our audience, when we are found, most of our audience are for founders, from founders of startups from the Netherlands, from Europe. We tend to see always solutions that we can touch, that we can find in from each others. But sometimes we really need to dig deeper into it, find solutions within ourselves, find solutions with coaches, with persons that actually could guide us to find new ways on how we can enter our subconscious and reprogram some of the things that actually sometimes we don't even know that they existed in us.
Yeah, if I could add something to actually follow up on what you just said, and if I have one advice for any listener here, whenever you are going through a time of turbulence in your life, some people may have a tendency, to roll down and just stay by themselves and go really inward, where actually, please go out there and seek help. There is someone out there that went through what you actually are going through right now, and that can help you move so much faster through what you're going through. And please don't stay on your own. Seek help and transcend what is going on in your life.
Transcend. Nice. Super. Alice, if the people in our audience would like to get in touch with you, how could they reach you the best?
Many ways. You can find me on my website, which is my first name and my last name, alicegeoffroy.com, all attached, right? Or you can also find me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, same thing, Alice Geoffroy. So just get on my socials, send me a message. I'd be happy to chat with you.
Perfect. Alice, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful time, and I would love to actually dig your brain also on a future hypnotherapy session as well.
Yes, please.
It was a wonderful moment, and till next time, guys, everyone, we're going to make sure that we leave all the information of Alice here next to our video and with all publications. Please, if you want to know more, if you want to keep learning from founders and entrepreneurs worldwide, please subscribe to the button, follow us with Growth Hacks experiences. I wish everyone a wonderful day. Take care. Until next time. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye.